Can we talk for a minute about our Integrating Heart and Mind workshop?
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's coming up in the fall of 2024.
I'm so excited. We changed the format to make it more accessible to people with like work schedules and personal schedules. And so this time we're going to do it 3 hours on a Friday afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at, and 5 hours on Saturday for 2 different weeks in September.
Yeah, it's so great. Like if you're finding yourself stuck in like sticky bad patterns or having communication issues or something like that, or if you want to just like get closer and trust yourself or your partner more, this is the workshop for you.
Yeah, and individuals are welcome, couples are welcome. If you're interested in really thinking through how to serve yourself well inside of your relationships, then we've built a workshop that will support you in finding the ways that are just right for you.
To sign up, head over to our website at whydoesmypartner.com/events.
We hope you'll join us. Welcome to the Why Doesn't My Partner podcast.
I'm Jules.
I'm Vicky.
And I'm Rebecca. We're your hosts. We're also couples therapists and messy humans bumbling through our own relationships every day.
We met through our training and practice of relational life therapy. Between us, we have more than 40 years of experience holding hard relational questions with our clients. We're going to bring those questions here.
And together, we're going to take a stab at answering those questions. This podcast is not a substitute for therapy. If something you hear in this episode stirs something deep within you about your relationship, reach out to a couples therapist in your area.
We also love to hear your questions, so don't forget to go over to whydoesmypartner.com and leave us a question of your own. Here's today's question.
Why don't I compliment my partner more?
It's a bit of a different question for us.
I love this question.
So do I. And I love how different it is.
I do too.
Well, it's somebody who's wondering about what's going on inside them. So we have a clear invitation to do a U-turn. What are the different reasons that someone might not compliment their partner? Forgetful.
Totally. Overworking. Just
Busy.
really busy.
Life takes over.
It
It happens.
Also secretly mad.
Like
Or holding
retaliation.
resentment.
Yeah.
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 So it could be like a passive aggressive move.
And I think all of those things that we've named so far are a version of being very self-focused.
Yeah. And I think putting the frustrated, resentful, and or angry with my partner, I'd put in a slightly different category. It's self-focused. But I think what you do with that one is a little bit different than if the self-focus is less about retaliation, is a little more benign, but is nonetheless not relational,
Right.
In thinking, right?
Right. Me focused versus us focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
And
the
so
pe-
that's the work,
Yeah.
is learning how to shift into.
Yeah. And I
Yes.
really want to draw that out because I think what you just said was really important, Vicky. So if somebody's me focused versus us focused, like if you're seeing it in your office, if you're seeing it in your life, how would you define the difference between those? Because I think that's actually new ways for people to think about it. I focused versus you versus like us focused.
We.
Yeah. Versus we.
There's so many different ways that I do talk about that and describe that. I mean, for my couples that have been seeing me for a while, I use the language of like first consciousness versus second consciousness. So what's your agenda? And your knee-jerk reaction to something is what Terry calls your first consciousness or your adaptive child. And it's your agenda is taking care of, I don't like to say you. The agenda of in first consciousness is me taking care of me.
Right. It's protective.
It's protective. And then when you can pause and breathe and get to a different place, it can be second consciousness or wise adult or us focused.
And that doesn't mean leaving your needs behind.
Thank you. No, it's about connection.
Yeah.
Which we all need. That's my need too.
Never
Never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
So
the connection is really us. It's both of us have that need.
Right. Well, it's just one of those things about our biology. I'm the biology lady. Like it or not, we are born to be connected species. And so we actually thrive on connection. And there's a deep pleasure or deep joy that happens because when we're in connection, because our systems are resonating with that need. So us consciousness is more like moving into just knowing that how you're doing, how I'm doing, how we are together are all of equal importance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just like to sit in that, like, phrase it very well. It feels nice to even hear it, let alone live in it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get across. It's just, even just the conversation about it is buoying. Weird word, but uplifting.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
It's buoying is exactly right.
Yeah.
So there's also the thing about receiving.
Yeah.
So there's a third option.
And that's when the compliments maybe don't land so well, right? Like when the transmission reception piece, when you're transmitting a compliment and it's not being received, if somebody is kind of brushing it off, maybe they're in their own shame pit, or they're just not able to take it in for whatever reason. Or Vicki, you had a really good example before.
I do. I'm outing I'm a sucker for a cheesy line. Oh my goodness. I love a cheesy line. And I did not marry a man who gives cheesy lines. He just doesn't talk like that. And for many, many years in our marriage, if he would throw one in here and there, I would like recoil when he said it. And then he'd say to me, and this is why I don't talk like that. He talks just like that, by the way. And so he would say, this is why I don't do it. And I was like, well, no, I'm reacting that way because you never do it. And so it sounds so unnatural when you do. And God bless him. He didn't give up. I mean, it was very periodic. And in the past couple months, I don't know why. I'm very thankful. He's been doing it more often and I respond a lot differently. And so I'm becoming more accustomed to hearing it. I'm going to speak for him. Maybe he's becoming more accustomed to saying it. I don't know. But I don't recoil anymore.
Are you complimenting him?
Right now.
Oh, right now or in general?
Yeah, right
like
this
right
second.
now, yeah.
Oh, well, and I was trying to think, do I in general? And I do. It's hard to compliment him with the beard, ladies. I'm sorry. We're back to the beard.
I have seen the beard. I'm in love with the beard.
I love the beard.
I know you hate the beard, but I love the beard.
But I love
think it's
hearing how much
fabulous.
you guys love it. It's awesome. And I guess I am complimenting. Like he's starting to give me what I wanted, never asked him for, not in a bad way, but like it's not him. And I accepted that. And it's wonderful to receive it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't wonderful to receive it for the first few years because it was so like awkward and sporadic. So I am receiving him much differently now.
Yeah, which Terry talks about. He calls it transmission reception work.
Right.
So if somebody's giving you something that you want, are you taking it in? Are you receiving it well? Because if you're receiving it well and that circle's kind of completing.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And we could talk about that in repair. We could talk about that with compliments. It happens all the time. Like, I'm really sorry. Of course, this hurt your feelings. Adam says, thank you for saying that. And I go, received. Right. So if somebody gives me a compliment and I say, thank you, or I acknowledge that it happened in some way, they're likely to do it more. So it could be that piece could be what's going on too, is totally. You're trying to give the compliment and it's kind of falling like into a black hole sort of feeling.
And so if you're the partner that's not receiving the compliment so well, that can be a piece of work for you to focus on, just to kind of notice. And also, as Terry says, like dare to take the 10%. Dare to be like, that was really awkward and cheesy, but I do kind of like cheesy lines. Vicki, I'm not taking a dig at you here.
I don't think
I'm
you
just
are
using it as an example.
Cheesy lines. I do.
And you know what? Like he's trying. So I'm going to try to take that in.
Yeah. And then if you're the one who's not giving the compliment, make a U-turn and really check it out with like a curious sort of open plane of possibility. Is this like, am I actually super frustrated by something or mad about something? Is this possibly like a passive aggressive kind of retaliation move that I'm doing.
Am I going into a protective space?
Yeah. And basically just like, I call it retaliation because it's like, well, I'm upset with you, so you don't get good stuff from me. Right? Because a compliment's good stuff from me.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a retaliation move. So being honest with yourself about that. And the fix for that one is speak up and try to repair. Tell your partner, I've been hurting.
Yeah.
And I'd love to take a moment and talk to you about why.
And then there was another one that we talked about before we started recording. And I think it's a really helpful skill. And that's the piece about, Jules, I think this was yours, about using it as like a mantra.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about
me. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's not about me right now. Right. So like, just to kind of like give yourself that refreshing reminder, like, it's not about me right now. It's not about me. Maybe even it's about our relationship, right? Like what is this about? What's the purpose here?
Right.
Yeah. So if you have one of those like distracted spaces, you're working a lot or you're forgetful about the compliment, having some sort of reminder mantra. I think you guys have people even program reminders in their phones sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Just a reminder. Think about us.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was thinking when we were saying this isn't about me right now. If let's pretend the reminder goes off in my phone and I don't want to for some reason, maybe I'm in the middle of another task, or maybe I'm in a bad mood, like we were saying. If I start thinking this isn't about me right now, this is about, and I'll make it me. So for me, the partner's a he. This is about him. And he asked me to, why don't I want to? So that could be an extra step too, right then, of what is stopping me right now, and go deeper than I'm just busy. With all due respect, like, come on. Am I mad? Am I like, what is really going on about it? It's not about me right now. If my partner wants this, why can't I give this to him or her?
Right. And I think part of the reason to go deeper than busy is because busy is another form of preoccupation with self.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
So it's taking away from the us, the we of it, and it's back to the me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then that gets into that golden rule of relationship. How can I help you? Help me.
Mm-hmm. How can I help you to help me? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that pretty much covers it, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave you there for today, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
That wraps up this week's episode. Join us again next week for another Why Does My Partner?
We hope that you continue to listen wherever you get your audio and that you'll follow the show.
To go deeper, join us at our boot camp. You'll find the next date at whydoesmypartner.com.
Did you know you could ask us your question?
Your questions are relational gold.
Go to whydoesmypartner.com to either write in or record your question for a future episode.